What if I told you that one of the most terrifying, unexplainable mysteries of our modern world, responsible for hundreds of disappearances, thousands of deaths, and countless sleepless nights, suddenly vanished? Not the disappearances, not the ships, not the planes, but the mystery itself. What if the Bermuda Triangle, as we know it, simply ceased to be a place of unexplained terror? Because in a very real, very unsettling way, that's precisely what happened. For decades, the very name Bermuda Triangle conjured images of swirling portals, alien abductions, and monstrous sea creatures. It was a place where compasses spun wildly, where radio signals died, and where vessels of every size, from small yachts to massive cargo ships, simply disappeared without a trace. From the moment the term was coined in 1964 by Vincent Gaddis in Argosy magazine, it latched onto our collective consciousness, a shadowy corner of the Atlantic where the laws of physics seemed to dissolve. But before Gaddis, the stories were already there, whispered by sailors, documented by newspapers, and ignored by officials. The area, roughly bounded by Bermuda, Miami, and San Juan, Puerto Rico, had been racking up strange incidents for centuries, culminating in a flurry of high-profile cases in the mid-20th century that truly cemented its terrifying reputation. There were the 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers of Flight 19, which vanished during a routine training mission in 1945, along with the PBM Mariner search plane sent to find them. 14 men, gone. No wreckage, no oil slicks, nothing. Just silence. Then came the Star Tiger and Star Ariel, British passenger planes that disappeared in 1948 and 1949, respectively, each carrying over 20 souls. Again, no distress calls, no debris, just an eerie void. These weren't isolated incidents. They were chapters in an increasingly unsettling anthology, each one begging the question, what unholy force was at play within these waters? What unseen hand plucked these vessels and their crews from the face of the earth and swallowed them whole? And perhaps more chillingly, why, after decades of terror, did the disappearances seem to end? To understand this strange cessation, we first need to truly grasp the sheer, haunting scope of the Bermuda Triangle's reign of terror. It wasn't just a handful of dramatic incidents. The list stretched on, seemingly without end. The Marine Sulphur Queen, a 524-foot tanker carrying molten sulfur, vanished in 1963 with 39 crewmen. The SS El Faro, a cargo ship caught in a hurricane, disappeared in 2015, taking 33 lives with it. Though debates rage about whether the El Faro truly falls within the classic definition of a Bermuda Triangle disappearance, due to the known hurricane, its loss still echoes with the same chilling finality. Over the decades, countless theories emerged, each more fantastical than the last. Some pointed to electromagnetic anomalies, claiming the area was a natural portal to another dimension, a tear in the fabric of reality. Others whispered of Atlantean energy crystals, buried deep beneath the ocean floor, disrupting navigation and creating temporal distortions. More grounded, but no less terrifying, theories suggested rogue waves of impossible size, methane gas eruptions from the seabed, creating killer bubbles that could sink ships instantly, or even powerful underwater currents dragging debris into undetectable abysses. Governments and scientific bodies, however, were keen to dismiss the supernatural, attributing incidents to human error, severe weather, or faulty equipment. The U.S. Coast Guard, for instance, largely maintained that no extraordinary forces were at work, and that the number of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle was not statistically significant compared to other heavily transited oceanic regions. This official stance contrasted sharply with the public's fascination, fueling a dichotomy that only deepened the mystery. Was it truly just bad luck, bad seamanship, and bad weather? Or were authorities deliberately obfuscating a truth too terrifying to reveal? But then, something shifted. Slowly, subtly, the narrative began to change. The dramatic headlines dwindled. The gripping documentaries became fewer and farther between. The new disappearances, if they occurred, were increasingly attributed to identifiable causes: severe storms, mechanical failures, or known human error. The chilling, inexplicable void that once swallowed ships and planes seemed to shrink, Or perhaps simply move on. What happened? Did the supernatural forces pack up and leave? Did the Atlantean crystals lose their charge? Or did our understanding of the world, aided by increasingly sophisticated technology, finally catch up to the mystery? Satellite imagery, GPS, advanced weather forecasting, and improved black box recording capabilities made it far more difficult for a large vessel or aircraft to simply vanish without a trace. Rescue operations became more efficient, debris fields more detectable. As the decades turned, the unexplainable incidents, the ones that truly defied rational explanation, became rarer. It was as if the Bermuda Triangle, a seemingly sentient entity of terror, had lost its appetite, or perhaps its power. The initial wave of disappearances, the ones that birthed the legend, occurred in a time when navigation was less precise, communication less reliable, and search and rescue capabilities far more rudimentary. Flight 19, for example, vanished before sophisticated radar and satellite tracking were commonplace. The Star Tiger and Star Ariel were victims of an era when transatlantic flight was still a perilous frontier. Were we simply projecting our technological limitations onto an ancient, uncaring ocean, manufacturing a mystery where none truly existed? Is it possible that the Bermuda Triangle never truly vanished as a place of terror, but rather that our ability to comprehend and explain its incidents finally caught up, stripping away the veil of mystery, one advanced sensor and one recovered black box at a time? This demystification, while seemingly comforting, leaves us with a different kind of unease. Did we simply explain away the unexplained? Or did the very act of seeking answers cause the mystery itself to recede, like a phantom limb no longer felt? So where does that leave us? The Bermuda Triangle, once a fearsome, enigmatic character in the pantheon of global mysteries, now stands largely as a historical curiosity, a relic of a less developed age. We no longer whisper of interdimensional portals or kraken attacks when a ship goes down in those waters. We look for the storm data, the maintenance logs, the flight recorder. The allure of the unknown, while still present in our human nature, is increasingly challenged by the relentless march of information and technology. This raises a fascinating and perhaps unsettling question. Are some mysteries intrinsically tied to our ignorance? Does the very act of developing the tools to explain a phenomenon inadvertently dissolve the phenomenon itself? The Bermuda Triangle might not be actively claiming vessels in inexplicable ways anymore, but it serves as a powerful reminder of how readily we create narratives around the unexplained, how deeply we crave the thrill of the unknown, and how our perception shapes reality itself. Perhaps the most enduring mystery of the Bermuda Triangle isn't what happened to the ships and planes, but what happened to the mystery itself. Did it truly vanish, or did we, as a society, simply outgrow our need for it? To this day, we may never truly know the full truth behind every single incident. What we do know, however, is that the chilling silence that once defined a vast oceanic region has largely been replaced by the hum of data, the ping of sonar, and the cold, hard facts of modern investigation. And sometimes the absence of terror can be just as unsettling as its presence. If you want more mysteries that challenge our understanding, the next video explores a remote island where an entire civilization disappeared overnight, leaving behind only colossal stone guardians and a haunting silence. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep questioning.